Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News. The big famous gold top might have just occurred with a whopping 6.6% drop. Are we going to get the Bitcoin rotation? We're going to speak about the Federal Reserve, crypto payments, President Trump and Winnie the Pooh, Coinbase giving a $400 million check to crypto Cobie just one day after he writes an essay about how he's fumbled and he's not a billionaire and he's totally not rich, kinda. Tether reaching 500 million users. OpenAI, Tomly, all of that coming your way and more, friends. The monthly candle for Bitcoin is fighting back. It is fighting back more and more. Can you believe it? We are at $111,000. Can you believe, friends? We actually turned it green momentarily. There was a big walloping move. Look at this monthly candle. It almost flipped green. Whoa, man, $114,000. We are so close. I wonder if it's going to get it. I was never even expecting for that to happen. The Ethereum monthly candle, we're at $4,000 for Ethereum, and it would be green if it's 4,150. Whoa, man, talk about that. That would be the biggest embarrassing shame on all the crypto influencers if it actually flips green for Bitcoin, because they will be calling a top on the back of a green monthly candle. Even they would know that they're stupid if they get that call wrong. But, you know, anything can happen, friends. Of course, anything can happen. That's why we've got to remember what we're here for. We're here for number go up. We're here for friendship. We're here because we believe Cody's speech. We're here for freedom of speech. We're here for freedom of movement. I want to be able to freely move my pointy elbows out there without having to worry about knocking people over. I want to show you the short-term price action of BTC. This is what happened, friends. So BTC, we came back down to this level right here. I remember my friend, Mr. Chris 1000X and everyone else, friends, everyone's getting really depressed here. They're getting really depressed here, but I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to jinx it because, you know, this is the previous monthly low. I thought, man, this is now to do or die, because, you know, if we just crack down lower, but look what ended up happening. We had a huge move up, bang. That's huge. Do you know how rare this is usually, friends? Usually this first green candle, usually there's like some screw around here and then eventually goes up. Before they just do this, bang, that's pretty cool. Here we have it, $111,000. We're right here. But the big boss is actually 118. If you want to talk about the previous monthly high, that would be like the ultimate killer. But, you know, we'll take it one step at a time. We've still got a couple of these key resistances, 116, 118. So we'll see how it all plays out. I'm just showing you previous monthly levels so we can hopefully just get an idea of where we're going. Of course, going to have a quick look at Ethereum as well, friends. Ethereum just still hanging around. Well, everything's pretty much at the same chart as well. So, man, it's going to be quite interesting as we move on through Floptober. Floptober's been disappointing. But yes, of course, friends, all the eyes are on what the hell happened with Uncle Peter Schiff's gold. It's kind of funny, friends. This is like etched in history, bro. Gold is more likely to hit $1 million than Bitcoin. You saw it, man. We all saw it, friends. Check it out here. I'm just going to go down to a smaller time frame. So, friends, look. Do you know, I watch a lot. I don't want to name names. I don't want to name names, okay? Because I imagine one day we're going to be even bigger. We'll all be stronger, okay? We'll gathering more attention. So I feel like if I'm attacking them, I'm kicking down already. I don't want to do that, okay? But I'm just telling you, there were many of them. They know who they are. They're just going to pretend they can say whatever they want to help them sleep at night. They were bullish at the top of gold. They were bullish. They say, you know, altcoins got no value. It's Bitcoin only. You know, gold could easily go to 5,000. They're not going to come rotate. It's kind of funny, man. They're like, oh, these are the smart retailers. Yeah. You know, like all these James Nguyen's out here lining up in Ho Chi Minh. There's literally 40,000 of them wrapping around the building all over every single major city of the world. Yes, I'm a retailer. I'm about to get rich. I'm lining up on the streets with 40,000 other people. I'm lining up for 3 hours. I'm the smart retailer. Finally, this is my turn to get rich. I'm going to buy gold and it's going to flip and flop and flash up to $6,000. It's going to happen. Straight up only. Yes. It's kind of funny. All these Bitcoin maxi type, these losers out here, he was saying altcoins have no value, which you're going to be wrong about, okay? And you'll be like, hang your head in shame, telling everybody pretty much, yeah, like they're pretty much saying without saying it, oh yeah, sell your altcoins and go buy gold at the top here. Sell your altcoins. Oh, this could keep going up. This could keep, there's no reason this has to go down. We're going to take a very humble, a calm approach. Love thy neighbor, love thy friend, hate thy enemy, okay? I don't care. We're coming for them, friends. Don't worry. All right? Don't worry. We're on the path to win. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to show you the the gold zoom up because it's this is extremely important. It was all right here, friends. So right here, I might get some tweets through you later. The complacency happened for, sorry, not the complacency. The arrogance happened from the Bitcoin, from the gold bugs. So this is, I know this doesn't look like much. I know you're like, whoa, this isn't much of a move. But for gold, friends, this is an enormous move, okay? For gold to be down 7%, it's big. So the standard correction is 10. All right, so that's why if gold's under 4,000, this is the standard correction. And then we might see what happens. It's kind of funny. This chart looks like Bitcoin from the 2021 thing, where it comes back down here and it might do something like that. And then it might have like the FTX style capitulation at the end later on somewhere where it actually comes back down. That might happen. We'll see. But yeah, this is it's extremely high. Oh, you know what? You're not going to see everybody said, oh, I told you it was high. I told you it was high. Many people were actually saying it was still going up. I want to give you a sneak peek, friends, because I like to flex. I'll just flex to myself, right? To see, hey, do I still like, can I read what's going on? Look at this. This is before the collapse. Look at this. Before the collapse, friends. Before the collapse, look at the arrogance I was seeing. Look at this gold silver headquarters updated, but they're failing again. Gold keeps skyrocketing. Pay the Bitcoin shills. So the major gold and silver Twitter channels were coming out. Look at this. Gold bugs are turning super violent against Bitcoin via Twitter memes. They are constantly pooping on Bitcoin. I find it hilarious to see the boomers celebrating with passion and energy. So this was before it dropped. This is actually right at the pico top. And I'm saying, man, they're like getting super arrogant. Check this out, friends. Gold bugs are funny. The Bitcoin dunking continues as gold bugs continue to take a big fat dump on Bitcoin maxis. I am smiling ear to ear as I read their memes, messages, and abuse to Bitcoin guys on Twitter. I imagine two grandpas fighting in a pigeon park, poking each other with their walking stick. So look at this guy's friends. His name is the Ape of Gold Street. The era of making life-changing gains is Bitcoin is over. To chart that Bitcoin fanboys don't want you to see. So because he's a pro gold guy. Oh, the chart that they don't want you to see because it's diminishing, going to get crushed over time. Oh man, it's kind of funny. Yeah, that's like actually what happened. And then look, I posted here, the gold to Bitcoin rotation has begun. Gold did its cute little double top move right as gold bugs turned turbo toxic against Bitcoin maxis. They were becoming super arrogant and nasty, so here comes the karma rotation. Bitcoin kaboom up. Hopefully more to come. This is gold coming down. This is the Bitcoin that when it hit 114, but now we're back down to 111 out here. This is just showing you the screenshot from Bloomberg Terminal, which is definitely overpriced that you don't have to worry about. Let's go and crank it. Oh yeah. It's kind of funny just to show you as well. We have gold doing this move, right? Doing this move down here. Even though it's kind of funny, friends. Everyone gets frozen in time. They're like, oh, is this really it? No, it's probably going to go higher. It's all over Twitter. You got to learn this, right? I was seeing all over Twitter people saying too many people are trying to call the top on gold. Way too many people. It doesn't work like that. Friends, how many people did you come out and hear? Everyone said, oh, gold's going to keep going up because it's not retailers buying. It's like central banks and stuff. And they another one, people were saying, oh, people were lining up because they were they're there to sell gold, not buy. The retailers were lining up to sell gold. Oh man, because everyone was in disbelief. We've been in such a long bear market because it's so hard to imagine that a $30 trillion asset, the $30 trillion, the largest asset in the world, the largest market cap in a day of information, in the day of digitals, in the day of telephones, okay? Communication devices that are mobile, okay? All this day and age, all these YouTube channels to tell you about tops and indicators and manias and all these, and guess what? None of it meant anything. They still lined up to go buy the very, 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 very top, used as exit liquidity. But they let themselves get used. You know what I mean? You want to go join the crowd? You want to do no research into markets and cycles or how anything works? Okay, that's the price you pay out here. Speaking of markets and cycles, friends, this is the global liquidity fractal. All right, out here. And this is obviously when it disconnects. So Bitcoin's been lagging for a long, long time out here. And I have another chart here showing you like gold has actually been mooning. And I've actually added gold just now so you can see the gold price, friends. So gold price is in orange. If you notice how gold and the global liquidity fractal have gone up, okay? Gold and liquidity fractal, and then Bitcoin is still stalling. So hopefully Bitcoin can do the catch up. That's what we're waiting for, right? Gold has to stop out. I think it's a nice 6 to 7% move like we've seen. It's enough for it to pretty much stop out. Yeah, isn't it funny, friends? Like, oh, if gold gets below 4,000, you're gonna get your Uncle Peter Schiff saying, oh, it's like the buy of a lifetime. And think about it, man, like 4,000 to 5,000, dude, is like a 25%, bro. Like it is. Gosh, like the numbers are so small. And you know what? Once upon a time, that was an amazing move. You want to know why? Maybe the inflation was like 2% actually for real at one point. Actually never was. The inflation rate, the money supply rate, it's always been 6.5 since day one. Yeah. So the government's been lying to the population since day one. They've been, actually, if I checked it, I think it was more like 5.75%. Of the money supply growth rate to 6.5%. Now the number in the past 5 years, it's ridiculous. It's like 7.5 to 8%. Yeah, that's how bad they've been debasing. Also, just to let you know, friends, this is some like esoteric friendship, some understanding of the wider economy and crypto cycle. In 2021, everyone was buying crypto because they were talking about the QE trade, quantitative easing, money. They're saying, oh, printing money. I've got to get long assets. I am now starting to see some normies, not all, just a few of the early normies coming out, and they're talking about the debasement trade, debasement, which it's printing money. They're minting the currency. Okay, so but retail haven't caught up yet. When retail come and line up in the stores and they buy the tops, for example, they might be buying Bitcoin at 250K and they say, oh, they're debasing at 8% per year, so I can buy Bitcoin at 250,000 because it's going to $1 million, right, Mr. Michael Saylor? I can buy Ethereum at like 13,000 because it's going to 60,000. Right, Mr. Tom Lee? You know, when we start to see the average normies out there talking like that, and they're going on, you know, those random Saturday Night Live guys shows, and they're talking something like that, yeah, all right, now we got to worry about it. But right now we don't. All right. But remember, friends, we even had like Paris Hilton, you know, and the Bored Apes making it to like mainstream news when they're like, oh, you know, like they're printing money and stuff out here. So we will see how it all plays out from that moment. Until then, you and I are going to be hoping and coping. And speaking of hoping and coping, here is the Bitcoin monthly chart for Bitcoin dominance. Okay, it's like 59%. If we finish down here, it would mark the third month in a row where we've closed below the 10-period moving average for the Bitcoin dominance. Actually very significant, and hopefully that continues with friendship in the future. Let's go have a look a bit at the macro stuff. We have the racist Russell 2000, which we're going to go and have a peek at, friends. The racist Russell hanging around here. It's still above its all-time high, man. It's holding. It's holding. This is great. This is really good. Look at this. It had this 1 swoop, 2 swoop, 3 swoop. Look at this. These swoops are getting smaller. You see that? This is actually great, friends. So it's kind of funny, man. Like, you know, blockchain backer spoke about the Russell 2000 with me for so many years, and now he just quit on it. He's like, oh, well, quit on it. I'm out. Bear market's coming. It's interesting, friends, because like I'm like, you know, hey, yeah, man, so it's wild. I never thought that would happen. Like, people just throw stuff out, you know. You might think about what would lead somebody to think like that. Is it cognitive bias? Could be. Is it because, you know, he really wants to do some sort of renovation in his home, which is true. You know, maybe you've been around for a long time, you just can't wait to get out, and you're like, oh, but I see the fractals and the divergences. And like I've said before, we have new, bigger players in Bitcoin now. The price action candles move differently. They move more wacky. There's more fake outs. It's not nice and fluid with this RSI stuff that used to happen back in the day, because the retail's not in there in Bitcoin as much anymore. Okay. Now, when I say this time is different with the players, I don't mean, oh, it just goes up only forever. Absolutely not. What I'm just telling you is it's harder to get a read on what's going on. That's why a lot of these people come out and they say, ha ha ha, I am a genius bear. You're all stupid. I'm the smart one. You're going to be suffering for a year while I buy Bitcoin at $58,000. That's what they're all saying. You know, you can all go suck a fat one. Here is the S&P 500 right back near the all-time highs. Again, you know, they're all going to capitulate, friends. Look, if Bitcoin keeps going, man, what an embarrassment it'll be for all you scum influencers telling everyone to leverage trade, telling everyone to sell the bottom. Oh, man, I'm just, friend, that'll be wild if Bitcoin can actually have the green monthly candle. Because here's the thing, friends. It's not me that comes out and reminds them. It is everyone who's sold. Everyone who's sold, friends. In a bull market, you get fear of missing out. People forget that. They totally forget that, like fear of missing out, because everyone's saying, oh, it's a trader's cycle. You know, you just got to sell everything. Yeah, you've forgotten, young Padawan. You have forgotten why people came into crypto for the first place. The fear of missing out. The fear. Do you understand how angry people get once they follow someone, they click sell out, and then it actually starts working? They don't come out and say, oh, Mr. Influencer, thank you for sharing with me your opinion. I accept responsibility. They should do that. They don't do that. They come in hordes and droves, thousands of people. They come out and they say, you cost me. You're a scammer. You are the one who told me to click sell. You are the one who called yourself a genius. You are the one missing out on a bull market. Wow, you're the only idiot who's doing it. That's what we build into. Okay, we haven't started that yet. All right, but that comes after the price actually confirms higher. Remember, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. We haven't seen the horns yet. Speaking of horns, this bull, I think he's still sleeping. This is the PulseChain bull out here. Here we have PDI up 6% as well. We have everything else around 0%. We have Inc up 1.5, PHEX and EHEX. A lot of mysteries and stuff coming out here to the future. I'm very excited. There's been no more movements after the PulseChain sacrifice treasuries moved around. I guess we're waiting for the next phase. We will see. Now, let's crack on with some news, friends. So, as you've got to witness, right, there's been a huge rotational top occurred in gold and silver. Gold sinks 6.6% down. We're waiting for that rotational top. So, as hopefully just Bitcoin just starts to go up only. Friendly reminder, okay, it happened 2 cycles before. Don't know if it's going to happen again, okay? That's why, friends, all the people are saying, oh, there's a cycle. There's a 4-year cycle. Oh, you got a sell for your boy cycle. Okay, bro, just move aside. It could happen. It could all be over. Sweet. If the Bitcoin gold rotation thing happens again, in 2017, it lasted about 14 months from the moment gold topped, from the day it topped, okay? Well, you don't know when it topped, the day, only in hindsight. So let's say gold did top this then, that's a 14-month run. In 2021, it went from August to, I guess, April, May. So if you do that, that's 4 plus 5, yeah, around 9 months. So there you go. You got 2 periods. One was a 9-month, one was a 14-month, okay? If we do the 9-month, we run into next year, June. May. That's wild. Selling May, go away. And then if we run the 14-month, that means we have another alt season at the end of next year, which would mark month 14. Okay, so that would, I'm thinking about if we were to symmetrically just match what happened in the past, how long we would run for, which I know it's crazy. I don't know, 4-year cycle, 5-year cycle, I don't know. Okay, maybe we are going for a bear market. We'll see. Also, just to let you know, friends, as well. So some of you have asked, I go, Sami, how come Ivan's been calling for a bear market so hard? Look, one thing you gotta know, friends, see my weekly SuperTrend. My weekly SuperTrend is default settings. It's an ATR multiplier of 3. Okay, so I've done research. The weekly's like a weekly chart for Bitcoin is macro and smooth enough. But what people try to do is they try to, they do different indicators and stuff. They try to tighten the bands because they want to get turns early, okay? But here's a problem. Let me just show you right now. See, this looks pretty clean, okay? This one actually was one fake out, but it looks pretty clean. So you get long here. There's one fake out. See, it goes down and then it goes up, okay? So you look at this, right? It flips red. But look, let me show you what happens. Like if you were to put this ATR down to 2, look what happens now. Look at the fake outs. You get short. Look at this. You buy the top. And then look, you don't get to sell at the bottom, at the top of this candle, friends. It confirms at the end of this candle, you're selling at the bottom of zombie virus. Then you're buying back at the top of the range. This is okay. This one works here. But let me show you this. Look at this. I remember, friends, if you remember, actually, I remember in 2023, Ivan actually flipped bearish here. He actually flipped bearish. But I remember Ivan, shout out to Ivan. Ivan was watching me. And then I mentioned at the time, I go, Ivan, your ATR indicator, the one that you're using, has a tighter band. See what I mean? So you're basically selling here. So look at this, friends. You're selling at 26,000, and then when do you buy back? You buy back on the confirmation of this candle. You now have 25% less coins from one move. Okay, so I'm just showing you how many fake outs there are. So you can see here, look at this, See, friends, they got bearish in July 2024. And then look, they get bullish. So you get bearish when Bitcoin's 55,000. You sell with Germany and the sexy German ladies, and then you got to buy back at $80,000. And look at this again. So they all sold with Uncle Bobby at $80,000 BTC, even below that. For the Trump tariffs, you sell at 80,000 and then you buy back at 105,000. You're just getting sliced. You're selling the bottoms, buying the top, selling the bottom, buy the top. You're losing 15 to 25% of your quantity of coins each time, right? And remember what I did? All I did was I just made the band tighter. So if you just leave it as a default 3, you have one nice smooth continuation. That's the ultimate difference, okay? But even what people do is they go down to the daily time frame because they're trying to keep getting the turns up and down, but there's no free lunch in this, friends. I looked at thought. Friends, do you honestly think if this worked, I'd be making videos for you, wasting my time doing that? No, I'd be like finding out how to like literally make 100x on an account doing this and just trading this 24/7 if that stuff actually genuinely worked. So because what you're going to see is if the price goes up, the bull trend confirms, right? This is what they won't tell you, okay? This is what no one will tell you. You're going to hear it from your friend Tommy, who's here to serve you, who's here to actually look after you, okay? When you have such a tight band, right? And I've changed it to a daily chart now. When you've had such a tight band, see how they're like bearish here? What happens is, after it goes back up, they go, oh, the bull trend here, the bull trend's here. But actually, friends, most of their audience and everyone who followed the indicators, they've sold down here, all right? So what they're not being held accountable for is you've now lost 14% of your stack of a quantity of coins. And by the way, look how many fake outs there are. Sell, buy the top, sell, buy the top again. You see this? Look at this. Sell. Look at this. You're selling down here, and you instantly got to buy it back later. Look at this. You're selling Bitcoin at 99,000, and then it confirms higher here at 110. So, it's not so easy, right? There's fake outs everywhere. So that's why there's got to be a lot of intuition and stuff out here made. That's why I want to just show you that, because a lot of people might get confused and think it's a full formula when it's not. Let's play some angel music for everyone out there in the back. Been very, very long, gruesome. Yeah. Look, it could be over. Yeah. It could be over. I don't know. It could be over. And there's egg thrown on all our faces, and it's the worst thing ever. It's just, look, man, I feel completely confident holding altcoins with a 4-year bear market behind me. I feel very confident. Very confident, dude. I'm like, dude, like that's super, super, super strong hands. Now, the Federal Reserve is studying a new payment account model that would give fintech and crypto firms limited access to Fed payment rails without full banking privileges. This was the huge news that came out that pushed everything up. Remember, friends, they have the crypto summit for the Federal Reserve. Even Sir Gay, not Sir Lesbian, Sir Gay from Chainlink, he was there, he was speaking. So pretty much what's happening is, friends, this is now giving so much value to crypto because the US Fed, this is how they're going to do CBDCs, okay? They are bypassing the banks. Okay, they are now allowing crypto companies to have an account at the US Fed. Whoa. The only entity that could have an account in the US Fed were the banks. They're like JP Mosquito and stuff. That's how they do all the rorting and the scamming and the debasement of everyone out here in the economy. That's how they rort everyone, okay? Now they're going to start with these slow accounts for crypto companies. Very interesting. They'll be able to deliver stimulus, do CBDC stuff and all the other junk they want to do. Stablecoin management, very interesting. So this is like really boosting the product market fit of crypto. In other news as well, friends, President Trump said his scheduled meeting with Chinese President Winnie the Pooh might not happen. So the Federal Reserve news, when that came out, that's when Bitcoin spiked up. And then when Trump tweeted, he goes, oh, we might not even meet. That's what made the thing go down. So this was the Fed payment go up, and this thing comes back down. It's kind of funny, friends. It's just this news is interpreted by the market. It wants to retest this level. You see this? There's this level area here that's very clear for Bitcoin. It bounced off it twice, breaks under acts as resistance. Now it's back up here. So what are we going to do? So we'll see how we react here. So the best part of the best thing we'd want to see is some sort of like screw around here and then this, right? That's what we want to see. But you never know. It might even do something like that and just piss us off even more. Remember, though, the key level, right? $114,000. That is up here. If we can get to 115, right, that's a green monthly candle for the month. That's absolutely insane if we get that. Wow. After the biggest Chinese exchange cabal rorting of our lifetimes. Coinbase have now paid crypto Cobie $400 million for Echo, an up-only sponsorship. That's the name of his podcast. Now, if you remember recently, friends, I made a video where crypto Cobie, it's kind of funny. I was describing it. I was like, he knows how to like talk to the crowd. He was like, it was a very soothing. This is it. Cobie speaks. Lesson from a crypto billionaire. Okay, so it's funny.
Wisdom from crypto
His
Cobie.
tweet. It's kind of, friends. I can read people. Okay, I don't want to come out and just say stuff for no reason. But I'm just to tell you something. So he made an essay saying, I'm definitely not a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire. Don't look at me. I'm poor. Pretty much that's how in crypto and Twitter interprets it. I still called the title Lessons from a Crypto Billionaire. I mean, he goes out of his way like 3 times and say, oh, I'm not a billionaire. I could have had so much money. I'm blah, 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 blah. As he was writing that, he's literally getting a check written from Coinbase for $400 million. So Coinbase have now given him pretty much $400 million. So one check, bang. So Look, friends, everyone gets played, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he hints that Richard Hart's a scammer and that everyone's lost all their money in hacks, etc. He hints that. But, you know, friends, he's doing the same shit too. He's just literally massaging everyone out here. So if you want to call Richard, oh, you're a showman. You know how to manipulate and talk to large crowds of people. Okay, bro, what are you doing here? You're literally massaging everyone here, but you're just talking to the poor person. You know, it's kind of like Richard Hart's talking like Republican style and Cobie's talking like Democrat for the working class style. Like, oh, I could have so much more money. Or I could have done more things if I, you know, took a bit more risk or if I did the leverage, but it's not about that. Look, friends, these people, they're gifted, okay? They're gifted for a reason. They have a talent, all right? They have a talent. So, but you got to learn. You got to learn how to learn. We have to learn what can we actually take from that, right? It's funny. I'm on Echo, and yes, 99% of the stuff just goes to zero. So, but Plasma Chain went on Echo. Plasma Chain, right? XPL. So people signed up to Plasma Chain, to Echo, because they're like, oh, wow, so you can do mad ICOs there. And then people went and said that, hey, bro, the one guy had done like 13 of the projects, 12 of them are at zero. And he didn't even get Plasma Chain. Yeah, one guy he put in like $1,200, and he had put in $1,200, and he had something like $14 equity worth. Yeah, like down 99.9%. So it's not easy, man. There's no free money anything anyway, friends. I hope PulseChain really does succeed, and then we can see this glory and stuff out here, right? Because you got to remember, friends, like obviously I don't speak for Richard Hart, you know what I mean? But like I drive to the sandwich shop, right? He just lives on top of it. We're just, you know, we're just different people in that regards. However, you don't hear the snarky comments Richard hears from people like Crypto Cobie and Ledger and other people when they shit talk Hex and Richard Hart. You don't hear what he remembers that, right? He remembers that. So when he talks about glory, you're like, what are you talking about? Like, who are you getting revenge against? I don't get it. Yeah, but you understand, friends, it's called the soy diode. Ricardo Corazon, when someone is infected with soy and just spilling out soybeans out to the world, he is not giving them mind share. He doesn't say, ha ha ha, you were wrong after all. He doesn't really, that's rare. He doesn't want to give him mind share. Like you lose, like he knows, you lost, you're a loser. There's so much of a loser, I'm not going to mention your name. That's where it's all coming from. It's just that he doesn't sit here wasting his time writing a 3-page essay trying to explain to you, oh yeah, this one guy shit talked me 3 years ago and I always made it my mission so that when we succeed, we go back and we do that. By the way, you already saw him do that with Tone Gaze, the monobarrel guy, and a couple of the other Bitcoin maxis who said Hex was totally going to zero at the start. And then it did a 1000x, okay? Coinbase have now confirmed Up Only TV is coming back. Podcast with Cobie and Ledger. So hopefully they interview some good people and stuff out here and we can learn stuff. Friends, once they go away and someone goes away and they come back, it's just not the same, man. You'll see. It's not the same. It's not the same. Tether have now reached 500 million users, and I've written here 500 million users for Tether. Congratulations. And none of them are earning yield, so they're cucks. And this sets the stage for PulseChain, stablecoin supercycle. So that's the funniest part about Tether. Tether's great because it's Tether, friends, there's 500 million people in the world. So Tether's done everyone a big favor. Tether said, hey, I'm going to give you a stable coin and you're a cuck. I'm going to take your yield. I'm going to buy Bitcoin and gold with it. I'm not going to do anything. Even though your rails are an EVM and they shit talk EVM all the time, Ethereum. Okay, so that Tether's done everyone a big favor. They've got everyone used to stable coins now. So now, if PDI, Conspiracy Coin, comes out and actually succeeds, it's going to be very easy for everyone to relate to it. And remember, it's not a stable coin, but it might be a ping pong coin. And there might be friendship and kindness and stuff along the way. So it's really good. Everyone understands stable coins. We all want to use stable coins. Everyone wants to hold the US dollar because every world currency is being debased hard. And everyone is forced to keep a bid on the US dollar. Friends, you got to remember, like, why does US dollar have a big bid? It's because everyone has oil deals all around the world. Most countries, you're not allowed to store more than 1 or 2 months worth of oil for your nation. Yet they have all these deals. So basically, you've got to keep buying oil. You can't hoard oil. And everything has to trade in oil. You know, so gold trades in oil, gold trades in USD, oil trades in USD, all the commodities trade in USD. Okay, that's also why it's very important why they arrested CZ, because they wanted to make sure Coinbase is completely controlled. And when they do the Bitcoin ETF, it all trades in the Bitcoin to USD pair. It was very important. I guess they were scared that CZ would allow the Bitcoin to CNY, a Chinese yuan pair and stuff over time. I guess they were very scared of that. OpenAI have just launched their own browser, ChatGPT Atlas. I wonder how that's going to go. ChatGPT still haven't done like a public ICO or anything out here. That might be a marker of the bull market. We'll see. Tom Lee has come out, friends. He's bought 63,000 Ethereum again, $250 million worth. So now that he holds $13 billion worth of ETH, okay? So, man, I hope it works out. Because, no, look, this is why I think the bull market's still on. When we see Tom Lee buying, we don't say like, oh, we're all going to be rich. We're all looking at it. We're like, oh, crap. Is he buying the top? Are we about to get wrecked? You know, that's what we think. That's fear. That's skepticism. That's what bull markets grow on. Okay. SharpLinker bought 19,000 Ethereum. Now they have 859,000 Ethereum. And we have also, friends, Amazon have planned to reduce 600,000 US workers with robots. Actually awesome. Thank you to Mr. Test of Time. Thank you for your hard work and honesty, Somi. Thank you very much. And here's Stewie. I've got a question, sir. Are you confirming friendship today? So all of us, we're now witnessing, remember the big theme, gold actually did top out. You know, things don't actually run forever. It's kind of funny, friends. I know in the heat of the moment, we're frozen because you see the liquidity in the bids. You're like, man, is this thing actually going to come down or are we about to get mega bonked? It's good that this thing actually did have some sort of stalling out. Now we'll see if crypto can follow through. Like, subscribe, bitty button all. Catch you in the next one.